So Chomsky today did an interview with rando dude online, and now the parts of the supposed left that are actually total and utter right wingers now is this guy. Appears to be part of that group. He's too small for me to even notice who he is, other than he would have Jimmy Dore on and say stupid stuff, and he'd be like, oh yeah, right? And so now they've all become anti-vax guys, and so. And I saw all of them chiming in, Max Blumenthal, all these guys, they're all against Noam Chomsky. They're all smarter than Noam Chomsky now, okay? So he's like, well, you said back in September, Chomsky did, hey, listen, I don't think we should mandate the vaccine, but if you're not going to care about, if you want to do the thing about all my freedom and stuff like that, but other people believe you're endangering their lives, you should at least have the decency to isolate yourself. So this guy comes at him with like, oh yeah? Well, how are they going to get food if they isolate themselves? And Chomsky says something rational. He says, well, I guess that would be up to them, right? It's their decision, and so they should figure it out. And by the way, it's not that hard. You just use all the different apps. They'll drop it off at your door without any contact. So like with this weird crying about like, oh my God, what will the poor isolated anti-vax people do if they can't breathe all over you? And Chomsky used an analogy that I think makes perfect sense. Well, you say, I want to have a right to run red lights. But we as a society have decided that's dangerous, so you're not allowed to run red lights. So if you don't want to run red lights, don't go near a red light. Stay home, right? That's in essence the analogy, and that is obviously true. These right wingers and the fake left wingers who are actual right wingers.
Yeah.
What's like? How can you not see that simple logic?
For me, the biggest tell that these are really just right wingers is the fact that they continue harping on the vaccine mandate issue, which is nothing more than a thoughtless culture war issue at this point, right? Whether you're vaxxed or unvaxxed is the latest in the identity politics. And it's not identity politics based on your race or your gender or your sexual orientation or anything like. This is the identity politics regarding your vaccination status, and it's a massive distraction from issues that actually do matter. So are there still people who are vaccine hesitant? Sure, yeah. But what Biden did with his vaccine mandate, which did not really pertain to workers in private companies, it really just had to do with federal employees, government employees, is he gave corporations the green light to implement their own vaccine mandates. And once they did that, the vast majority of their workers who, including some of whom were vaccine hesitant, were like, all right, I guess I have to go get the vaccine. So United Airlines, perfect example, more than 95% of their workers ended up getting vaccinated. Tyson Foods, similar statistics, right? Everyone is pretty much in favor of vaccine mandates, with the exception of those who have decided to turn it into a culture war issue and go out of their way to like overblow the number of Americans who refuse to get vaccinated, okay? Most people are getting vaccinated once the vaccine mandate is implemented at their workplace. I'm kind of over this, and I find the whole topic deeply boring.
Yeah, but the reason why it's relevant for the fake left wingers is because it's a way of shepherding you towards the right wing. So they're not touching any of the hot button issues where you go, wait a minute, you're now against Medicare for all? Wait, I thought we were on the left, right? So they know not to do that. Now at the same time, they won't do things that'll actually help. They'll do things that'll hurt, but they know not to say that they're against progressive issues. But vaccines was kind of empty territory. So what they did was like, oh my God, if you're on the real left and you really want to protect freedom and you hate the mainstream media is in favor of vaccines, you should be against vaccines. And what did Jimmy do? He took the vaccine and then he's been talking nonstop against the vaccine. It's a classic Fox News Republican elite thing to do.
And it's been highly lucrative for him.
Yeah, and so then the way that it's a win-win for them is then they get a right-wing audience, they monetize that, right? And talking anti-vaccine will get you a nice, healthy, ironically unhealthy right-wing audience, right? And it'll also be a gateway to people who still think they're on the left, like, oh, I'm just standing up to oppression. They told me we're standing up against oppression, okay? And so, and then you play with their lives, not your own, because you're already vaccinated. So you see why that's a scam that works. So anyway, I tweeted about that. One guy is like, Chomsky doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I know better than him. I'm like,
oh yeah, totally. You definitely know better than Noam Chomsky. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're definitely a genius.
Yeah, and he had a title of ex-Democrat. It's classic troll material. It's
not just troll material. It's right wingers. Honestly, in a lot of cases, succeeding in infiltrating the online left.
Oh, that's what I mean by troll behavior in this case.
Yeah.
It's for people pretending to be ex-Democrats. There's almost no ex-Democrat that puts ex-Democrat as their title.
Yeah, no.
So it's definitely right-wingers going, oh, you guys should all be dem-exiting. And oh my God, everybody that hates government oppression is exiting the Democratic Party and giving their votes to Republicans.
Totally.
Who are even more in favor of corporate rule.
No, my favorite strategy of theirs though, and I chuckle every time I see it, is when they're like, and I used to be an avid supporter of yours, but I'm disappointed.
That's the number one. They do it every time. By the way,
disappointed in me?
Yeah.
Oh, were you an avid fan of mine?
Okay. By the way, it's not just about us. You could see it. It's a hilarious strategy they try with every single person.
Yeah.
David Sirota, I used to be a big fan of yours. And then you check their timeline. It's like every alt-right guy you've ever seen, they've retweeted.
Jack Poseby,
right,
like
and
Richard
Cernovich
Spencer.
and all those guys. They're like, oh, Ryan Grimm, I was a big fan of yours. Okay, sure you were, brother. Sure you were, okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, and I genuinely feel super bad for people who were on the left and who got totally rooked by these guys. I mean, fish hook 101. Okay, anyway, back to Chomsky for a second. Guys, this is the issue that's super hard to resolve because the right-wing anti-vaxxers, that's not all the right-wing, okay, but the anti-vaxxers genuinely believe that they're not posing a danger to anyone, okay? Their leaders think it's a danger, that's why they're all vaccinated, okay? But the followers think that, no, it's not a danger at all. I heard Tucker Carlson and Jimmy Dore say it, everybody must agree, right? And so, now we think it is a genuine danger. You can ask Colin Powell's family if it's a genuine danger, even for the vaccinated, right? If you're immunocompromised, you can get the coronavirus again and it could kill you. That's exactly what happened to Colin Powell, okay?
Right. The vaccine isn't as effective on people who have those issues, right? The immunocompromised issue. My mom's an example. My mom has a kidney transplant. She has to take, and she's already gotten her booster shot, but still it's less effective for her because she literally has to take medication on a daily basis that lowers her immune system so her body doesn't reject her kidney. She's one of many people in this country who have that issue, which is why, whether they want to believe it or not, being unvaccinated does in fact put others at risk. But they've been persuaded, they've been convinced that this is an issue regarding freedom, that this is government overreach, when in reality, we've had vaccine mandates in this country dating back to literally 1777 when George Washington implemented a vaccine mandate for smallpox on the troops.
So Chomsky brought that up too, not the Washington part, but he said, what if it's smallpox? And they say, no, I don't think it's dangerous. And they just go and breathe on you. Or are we just supposed to say freedom? But we can't because it actually is dangerous. And running a red light is actually dangerous. So you can say, I want the freedom to run the red light. But no, you can't have it because this is majority rule and the majority say that you can't run red lights. Look, I'll give you an example. I hate the masks and I wear them all the time. Why? To be safe, etc. But we talked about it when things had cooled down and also when they were heated too. When you're running outside and you're not anywhere near 6 feet of anyone, scientists say it is no danger. But people freaked out, right? Understandably, because inside it was a great danger. So number one, in California, we had laws saying, well, if you're within 6 feet, you should have the mask on. So I would have the mask on. And then even past the laws, people were really scared for a while.
Right.
And so I would have the mask on. Why? Because I didn't want them to think that I was posing a danger. Now I know in that case,
right.
I'm with the scientists. They say it's not a danger. You're 20, 30 feet away, right? And we're outside. But since they were worried, as a decent person, I took that into consideration and would put the mask on when jogging near folks like that, right?
That's wrong though, Cenk, because as someone on the left, you should really prioritize individualism and your individual freedom over collectivist action to keep people safe and happy.
Are we sure that's on the left?
I don't know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.